Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we will be looking at another 2028 possible presidential matchup, this time between popular comedian and host of The Daily Show, former, I think he left in 2015, but Jon Stewart. So, Jon Stewart is interesting because, he's never held a political position before, but people really think he would be a good candidate, somebody that would connect with people, isn't um, too leftist, isn't too centrist. So they think Stewart would be good. He would be able to connect with uh, Americans, kind of like how Trump did, though not that much. Because J.D. Vance on the other side, because he's likely to become the Republican nominee. J.D. Vance, he doesn't connect that well, uh, compared to his boss Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, he just really did well. But Jon Stewart, they think he could really do well among Americans, and also possibly win back the blue wall. So let's do this. Let's see how this ends up. Jon Stewart. We're gonna start with the safe blue states, but I'm just gonna talk about it. I do this, but on Twitter, there's been this account, and it's basically just draft Jon Stewart, and it already has 16,000 followers. So yeah, that's just amazing for like Jon Stewart. He hasn't really said anything, but obviously he's more of a Democrat. We've always known that, but Jon Stewart, obviously he hasn't actually announced his run. He hasn't. He also hasn't really hinted towards it, but honestly, it's definitely a possibility he could run, and obviously he would be one of the better candidates for the Democratic Party, better than AOC, better than Gavin Newsom, and better than a slurry of other candidates. Now let's do the safe Republican states now. Um, these are kind of obvious ones, and that is going to be it for the safe Republican states. Now let's do the Actually, wait, Indiana. Indiana might be likely. It wasn't that close. It was kind of close to likely Republican in 2024. So I feel like Stewart could get it to likely Republican. It's not like it's crazy or anything. It's not like it hasn't happened before. Um, Now let's do the likely Democratic states: New Mexico, New York, Illinois, um, Virginia. I feel like a couple candidates could make sure Virginia isn't lean, instead likely Democrat. Nebraska second. Yeah, Stewart would definitely help out a lot in the Midwest. Um, Maine. Yeah, those two electoral votes in Maine. And that is going to be it for the likely Democratic states. I'm also going to put New Jersey in there. New Jersey, I know a lot of people think it could go lean, but I feel like it would get competitive in 2032. Not yet in 2028, but we could see maybe. Honestly, the midterms are probably going to still be likely, but it could definitely get competitive in 2032, New Jersey, so. We'll keep an eye on that, but I don't think it's going to get competitive in 2028 that much. Still, it could be up for grabs maybe uh, during a couple times, but maybe polls showing Vance would win, but I'm not really sure about New Jersey. Yeah, that's it for the likely Democratic states. Now, just the likely Republican ones. A lot of these, it's not like these are actually competitive, it's just that they're usually likely. Um, Missouri, Mississippi, Indiana, South Carolina, Utah, Montana. And we're also going to put Florida and likely Republican. Honestly, Florida, I feel like it could go safe Republican in this scenario. I could definitely see that. And honestly, also Texas as well, likely Republican. Not safe, obviously, but Stewart wouldn't be able to help that much in Texas. He honestly, he just does really good in the Midwest here. So Texas, not so much. I'd say still shifts a bit to the left because 2024 was very red for Texas. Maybe R plus 11 or something. So yeah, that's gonna be good there. Um, and yeah, now let's move on to the lean states. These are states that are decided by a margin of between 1% and 5%. Um, for the lean Democratic states, we're doing New Hampshire. Also, I forgot to put Maine at large in not Maine, Maine's second congressional district in the likely Republican column. And for the lean Democratic states, we're also going to put also Minnesota's unlikely Democrat. Sorry, forgot about that. Not Wisconsin. Michigan is going to go lean Democrat, as well as Wisconsin. So these are two very important swing states from 2024. Wisconsin was the closest state. I feel like Stewart would be able to shift it. D+3 here. And Michigan, D+3 as well, I'd say, around that. And Vance would be able to lock down a likely Republican in Ohio. That is his home state. He should be doing pretty well there. And Iowa will be a lean Republican. Stewart does very honestly, one of the best Democrats for the state of Iowa that could be nominated. We're also going to put Arizona into the lean Republican column. Arizona, the reddest swing state in 2024. It was redder. No, Arizona was New Hampshire was more competitive than Arizona. So the margin in New Hampshire was less than Arizona. I feel like it's going to be pretty easy for Vance to lock down Arizona against Jon Stewart. Once again, the Sun Belt is also really Stewart's strong point. And also Alaska. This is shifting to the left, but Vance would still be able to lock it down. Okay, now let's go. We have 4 states left: Nevada, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. So, North Carolina, I feel like it will be lean Republican here. North Carolina, Democrats, I feel like Democrats come so close to flipping it every single time, but it's just kind of hard. Though the suburbs of like Raleigh, Nashville, they are trending left. I feel like Vance would still be able to win North Carolina against Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, I don't think he does that good among African Americans, so that's going to be there for North Carolina. In Georgia, I'll put it into the tilt Democratic column. That puts Stewart at 267 electoral votes. And honestly, the Atlanta suburbs, sure, they're shifting to the left very hard. I still think Stewart does win, but honestly, he probably won't do that good in Georgia compared to other Democrats, like John Ossoff, that's so I'm saying, Andy Bashir, that kind of thing. So Georgia's still blue, but closer than a couple of my other candidate predictions. So that leaves us with Nevada and Pennsylvania. Vance must win both of them to win the election. So we're gonna put Nevada into the tilt Republican column. This one was lean Republican in 2024. J.D. Vance should win it once again. I do want to see how the 2026 governor's race goes. If somehow Aaron Ford flips it and makes it blue, then it's going to be kind of hard for Republicans to win Nevada in 2028. But Nevada, I feel like it is still leaning favorably to the Republicans so far. And now for Pennsylvania, the deciding state. I believe Jon Stewart will carry all 3 swing states of the blue wall. Pennsylvania, sure, this is probably Vance's best swing state, like how he contributes here. But Jon Stewart, he still is able to carry all 3 blue wall swing states and win the election with 286 electoral votes to J.D. Vance's 252. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.